What's up, guys? Hello, hello. Michelle, Charlene, can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me good?
I can hear you.
Perfect. I was playing you guys my focus music. I found this DJ. It's kind of weird music probably to some of you, but I put it on and I've been using it for work and it's fabulous. I don't know what this guy has Jedi mind tricks. Or I get in crazy focus mode. I've never experienced that before. It's super cool. So I was gonna play it, but
is it Bon Jovi?
It's not Bon Jovi. It was if it was for David.
That's right.
I've almost hit end the meeting 10 times already. So let's hope I don't do that. All right. We'll give people a couple minutes to get on. I wanted to make sure that we could have a recording for some of you guys, different things there, those that are attending. So it is done through a register link. We had some people have some confusion with that. So hopefully this will work out for them and everybody will be good there. See if you guys have any questions, feel free, because I'm gonna go through kind of the key points that I have today. And then if you have any other questions or you have questions right now on the topic or what have you, feel free to start putting them in the chat. Again, we're about 7:31. I'm going to give us a couple more minutes. I'm afraid to start my slideshow and then not be able to see people jumping in because I got to let everybody in. Happy Thursday, everybody. Hopefully you are doing well. Perfect to do this kind of thing right before Easter, right? Start getting all that candy, everything there. I do have a lot of stuff to go over today. Kind of our 3 little secrets and what need to be in order to, kind of see the results that a lot of people seek, right? A lot of people come here, usually at the beginning, some aspect of improving their health or body composition or weight loss, improving their strength, everything there. And there's certain things that have to be in place in order for that to work and that to be effective. And that's what I want to go over today. So I'm going to try to start my slideshow now. Hopefully it doesn't interrupt me being able to let anybody in if they happen to come in late. So if that's the case, I guess they're out of luck, right? All right, cool. Can you guys see my screen all right? Okay, cool. I see some yeses here. So welcome, guys. Thank you for taking time out of your day. I know a lot of you guys are busy. You got a lot going on. We're about to hit Easter, right? There's a lot of things that are happening right now. So I first want to say, I appreciate all of you guys for taking the time, meeting with me tonight. I will try to be as efficient with this as possible, but at the same time, I want to get my point across. And at the same time, I want to make sure that I answer any questions that you guys have. So again, I mentioned it already. If you have any upfront questions, anything like that you want to go over, that you want me to answer for you. I also have Julie, our lovely Julie, who's a coach now as well at Raw. She is on here today. She's going to be jumping in and answering some questions as well. So whether they're questions tailored to me or they are tailored to Julie or whatever the case may be, we want to help get you guys on the right track from here on going forward. But there's some things that need to be in place in order for you to do that. So again, if you have any questions, anything like that we can help answer for you along those lines, please just let me know. All right, this is my cursor here. All right, so I'm going to jump into it, guys. So as I'm going into this, there's a couple things, and I might get a little interrupted at the beginning here, just people jumping in and it keeps bumping and asking me to admit them in. So You can see my nice, cool guy here. I thought this guy looked really cool. When you kind of learn some of these secrets and you start to take action on them, it's a little joke, right? Don't be surprised if people come swarming to you, right? Or you look as cool as this guy. So we want to make sure that we are, while we're doing this, while we're in this presentation, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor, okay? I'm going to spend the next 30, 60, however long it takes for questions, things like that to answer for you, dedicated to you guys. So I'm going to ask that you guys do the same and turn off, notifications, turn off like other browsers, Facebook, and almost act as if you and I are having a one-on-one conversation about how to lose weight, how to get your health right, how to improve your overall life, as if, this is a one-on-one consultation. We actually have a new program that's launching. It's a few $1,000s for the program overall, but it's a lot of the stuff that we do in that I'm actually going to share with you today. So I'm obviously doing that for free. So at least I want to make sure that you guys are paying attention, you're focused, and you're asking any questions that you have along the way. You can ask them if they just pop in your head. There's a comment section in here. Feel free to ask that. I did have some people send me some questions that they had already, or people that were asking about it. So I put those in here. I will answer some of those as well. But you are more than welcome to ask kind of any questions as we're getting into this. So a little bit of results disclaimer here. Hopefully it looks like some of my stuff isn't showing up on my end a little bit, but so when I say the presentation is how to help you lose your next 15 pounds or your first 15 pounds, it doesn't mean by next week, right? We're not trying to do some like drastic measure that you're going to lose 15 pounds by tomorrow, or anything like that. Here at Raw Fitness, I mean, that's why our logo is what it is, right? It's the Tai Chi symbol for balance. Our goal is to, find ways to help you do this in a holistic approach, right? So, but with that is this stemmed from a need. This stemmed from my life. At first, when I first started doing this, I just wanted to turn my life around and make a basketball team. I thought that's what it was going to help me. And it ended up turning in, how do I lose weight? How do I get control of my weight? And how do I improve my depression? Like that was the core, like, starting point of what I'm going to discuss with you today. It's cost me thousands and thousands of dollars, tons and tons of time. 10 years, actually more like 13 plus years of like figuring out all these little secrets and minute things. And that's what I want to do. Luckily, it has given us the opportunity to help well over 1,500 people in the local area to, whether it's lose 15 pounds or just get their health on track. And again, that's what I want to go over for you today. So many of you have either, been at Raw or have been in some type of program, and at least at one point, or maybe even right now, you have been in the situation where you're like, I don't know what I need to do next, or I don't know what the next step is for me to get results. And I put my man Phil on here. Phil's a member of our here. He might even be on here. I don't know. I didn't look. But Phil is somebody that just 10 months ago was in a very similar situation, right? He's like, I need to do something. I remember the first conversation I had with him. It was all about what do I need to do to change this all up? And you can see now Phil's, he's lost 34 pounds. He's down 10% body fat by using some of the things that, not all of them, but some of the things that we're going to talk about today. But Phil by himself is, not alone. There's others that have been through this type of situation that has used some of the tools that we're going to talk about and had success. Karen here, or Rochelle, has been a longtime member of us. We joke around with her. She's the face of Raw because we put her in a lot of stuff. But she's been one of the ones that has had success and has had it for years, right? And I'm assuming if you're on this call, your goal isn't to just lose 15 pounds or lose the next few pounds or lose your last little bit of pounds or whatever it is. It's probably more so to do it in the long term, right? To make sure that you are doing this for the long haul and not just short term, right? I'm going to ask guys, if you don't mind, make sure you put yourself on mute. Normally you go on mute when you first enter. Because so many people are coming in at the same time, and people are still coming in. I can't necessarily go in and mute you. So make sure you put your microphone on mute for me, just so we don't get like some static feedback, anything like that there. So, but yeah, so getting into it. So who is this for? This is for those that have kind of been on that weight loss roller coaster, I call it, right? That if maybe had some success, maybe it's been back and forth, maybe it's been short-lived, or it's worked here and then you fell off here, whatever it is, that roller coaster, that vicious cycle that a lot of us go through. Or maybe it's for somebody that needs to lose weight and they've kind of struggled with it in the past, maybe due to lack of knowledge or time, or just have struggled with the willpower to stick with it and stay with it. Now, this is probably not for those that kind of have it figured out, right? The ones that, you know, maybe are at their goal weight, they've been there for a while, they figured it out, they've implemented things into their lifestyle. They've gotten past some of those barriers and plateaus. This might not be a presentation for you. Now, you probably can still learn some stuff, maybe some things that you haven't done or you could do better or whatever it is, or maybe that you're missing. But this isn't going to be generally directed towards, you know, somebody in that situation. So as I mentioned at the beginning, guys, the goal of this is how to teach you to lose your next 15 pounds. And I get this question a lot. Does that mean I have to change everything? Right? Does that mean I have to completely change everything I'm doing, be miserable, eat all these foods I don't like to eat, spend hours and hours and hours, you know, all these different times in order to see results? And that's what I'm going to share with you today. And my goal is to, at the end of this, to really show you that when it comes down to this, now I can see better, is the goal for this webinar or this web class is, in order to have sustainable weight loss. Make sure you guys are on mute, please. So in order to have that sustainable weight loss or sustainable health, you need a program, or you need something that encompasses what I call the 4 pillars. And I'm going to go over what those are today. Okay. If you're not utilizing the 4 pillars, I guarantee you, I assure you, either you've experienced it in the past or you will in the future. If you attempt some of these things, you will struggle to have that long-term success. And I want to change that today. Okay. And I'm also going to show you why I think the only way to kind of reach that is through a transformation program like the ones that we have implemented into some of our new programs here at Raw. Because we utilize that 4-pillar model, it allows you to have that all-inclusive process to weight loss and beyond there. So really quick, I know some of you know me, some of you don't. Again, I won't spend a lot of time in this. My name is Danny. I've been in the industry for over 14 years now, and I spent the last 14 years testing and tweaking and researching and finding ways to help people improve their life, live a better lifestyle, and mainly lose weight so that they can build confidence through health and fitness. And me personally has helped me overcome depression and allowed me to control my weight. You know, I've been fortunate enough to be, you know, presented in local newspapers, a public speaker around the Metro Detroit area, been hosted on my own health and wellness TV show, podcast producer, have my own podcast, and I've been a guest and been in many articles in the past, which has led me to be able to start the company Raw Fitness, which has been noticed as Our Magazine's one of the top fitness places in Metro Detroit, voted here. So we've been super blessed here. We've been able to help a lot of people, and I'm super thankful and grateful for all the people along the way that has helped me with things. But unfortunately and fortunately, it didn't always start out that way. Okay. My journey, you know, started roughly 14 to 15 years ago, more like 15, 16 years ago. I was in a very dark place. So it's kind of a funny photo. I didn't really have a lot of photos when I was kind of that age, or maybe ones that were probably appropriate to use for this. But that is in essence, kind of the journey I went through. At one point, I actually dropped out of high school. I became an addict. I completely disregarded my health and wellness. my social life, just everything. I did not make it a priority. It was not important to me. And I went into a very, very dark and depressed place. I did it because I thought I was cool, or I thought I would, get girls, or whatever the case may be. And it just was not what I thought it was. And I was in a very, very bad place. I started to gain a lot of weight, which was something that was different for me to handle a new stressor and things like that. I actually got into a lot of trouble. At one point in my late teens, I was kind of in and out of jail from just dumb decisions and doing different things. So needless to say, my health and wellness was way down here. But fortunately, I went through a lot of those things, and it forced me to say, like, you know what? I have a choice to make. And now I'm luckily able to have unlimited energy. Before, I felt like I needed to sleep 12 to 14 hours a day, right? And I have the confidence now, and the energy, and the ability to maintain my health and still spend time with my loving family. There's my family right there. Many of you guys know them. But was that really what I wanted? That path that I was going down before? I thought that's what I needed to do. I thought I needed to, hang around with these types of people. I thought I needed to, I needed to rely on drugs and alcohol in order to cope with things, or, handle my stress or my anxiety or whatever it was. But I ended up miserable, right? So I mentioned already, I had a choice to make. Did I want to continue down this path of darkness, depression, feeling miserable about myself, hated the way I started to look? Or did I want to make a change, right? The question was, how do I stop that vicious cycle of the ups and down roller coasters of just losing my confidence, losing my self-esteem, hating the way I felt, hating the person I was becoming? And how do I find that happiness? I hated the way I felt. I was completely miserable. As I mentioned, I was getting into trouble, and I just had no idea where to start or get off this roller coaster. You can give me a hand, a hand. Like, how many of you have been down that kind of vicious cycle of, like, I don't have the energy, I don't have the motivation, like, I don't know where to start. So I'm keep going back and forth of, like, I'm trying things, it's not working, or it's slow, or whatever it is. And you just keep going down that vicious cycle. I'm sure many of you have been down that path at some point or another, whether with your health and fitness or something else, right? And, when I did start, everything I was doing was wrong, right? I got to a point, I actually, again, I got into a lot of trouble. I had a choice to make. And luckily, I had somebody looking out for me that gave me a second opportunity. And, I was going through the court system and everything there. And the judge actually, said, like, I think you can do better. And that, like, really resonated with me. And the fact that he didn't have to do that, but he gave me another chance, was kind of my eye opener, right? And I remember to today, it was the middle of February. I was shorts. We had a big snowstorm. I went outside. It was like 2 a.m. and I just started bawling my eyes out. I was like, this cannot be my future, right? So I was like, when was the last time I was happy? And I used to be relatively active as a kid. And I was like, when I was playing sports, when I was more active, when I was doing things that were better for me, I was much happier person, right? I was able to do a lot more. I was able to have the confidence, self-esteem to go out in public and do things like that. And when I was going through all of that, I was like, that's what I need to do. So I went back, I got my GED. Actually, I was like, I'm going to play college basketball. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm going to try to do that. And I started working out, right? And I started going to Tim Hortons and eating their breakfast sandwich because I thought that was healthy. I started eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches because I thought that was healthy, right? And I started to work out, and I started to work out 2 times a day. And essentially, I started doing all the wrong things. I had the right intention, but I was doing them wrong, right? But I was trying to get off that. I knew I needed to make the change. I started to exercise twice a day. I was doing it a lot. I saw a little bit of change. Then I started to eat a little bit better, not just peanut butter and jelly. I actually started learning a little bit more, and I started to see some more change, but I could not figure out, how do I make this all line up and get consistent results, right? I became determined. I did start to feel better, but I wasn't just where I wanted to be. And I almost came up and, ultimately I just felt defeated, right? I started putting in all this work and I wasn't getting what I thought out of it. And I didn't know how to break that cycle or break that roller coaster until I met my man, Doug. So that is not actually Doug. I don't have a picture of Doug. I wish I did. And that we can pretend that's me with my massive arms. But with Doug, if you can't tell, Doug was a personal trainer. What Doug
just
did,
a small loan of 1 million.
Can somebody please go on mute, guys? Make sure you are on mute here. Can't see who it is. Anyway, so as I was started to work with Doug, right? I actually got it for free at first. I signed up for a gym to start to like train and work out and different things there. I had no idea what I was doing, but I started that journey and I got a chance to work out with Doug. And then I eventually hired him. What Doug gave me was a plan and part of the missing piece of what I was missing. And that was the accountability and support factor. You see, it's from that point on, I was able to start to see a lot more results that I wasn't getting before because I was starting to look at the whole approach. I mentioned to you guys earlier, the key to this is that 4-pillar system. And I started to put things together that this is what I needed to do. And this is how I needed to change my life and turn this into a lifestyle so that I could find that happiness. I could find the confidence and I could do that through health and fitness. It allowed me to take back control of my mind, my body, and some of the aches and pains that I went through. Because actually at this point, I went through a knee surgery. I think I might've been in my second knee surgery at this point, or I was about to get my next knee surgery. But so I had all these things kind of stacked against me that I was trying to overcome. And it wasn't until I started to incorporate this 4-pillar process that I started to see results. And I put that up here. No, I just wanted to be jacked like this guy. Not really the case, but I thought it was funny. However, again, I ran into another issue. Even though I was starting to feel a lot better, I just felt like I could not enjoy my life, right? As I mentioned before, I was doing everything wrong. I had the good intention, but I just wasn't doing it correctly. First off, I was running out of money to pay the personal trainer, right? Personal trainers get very expensive. And ain't nobody got time to focus as much as I was doing. Workout or 2 a day, like at least 10 a week, right? Paying for the trainer, like prepping my food and doing all this stuff. Like I didn't have time for that. I'm sure most of you do not have time for that, So the process was still not where it needed to be. And it took a long time to really figure that out. And I finally, over tons and tons and tons of testing and research and all that and certifications or what have you, finally found a simpler way with years of research, years of testing of a health and weight loss journey that doesn't have to be so hard, right? And it can be sustainable. And that's what a lot of people are seeking is that sustainability. Like, yes, I can get results, but how do I sustain that long term? And this is how you do it, guys. I'm sharing the Raw Fitness model right here. This is how we build all of our programs right here. This is the essence of the 4-pillar transformation coaching process, right? Or for us, the coaching program, but essentially the Raw Fitness 4-pillar process. You need to have a goal. You need to have something that you are shooting for. The 4 bolded and numbered, that's your 4 pillars. You need to focus on some aspect of fitness. You need to focus on some aspect of nutrition. It doesn't mean it has to be crazy intense, right? Or anything drastic, but it needs to have a focus on it and some level of healthy habits. That could be habits of fitness, that could be habits of nutrition, or something else that you might need a little bit more help with. Maybe it's something with sleep or something with getting more water in, right? There's a lot of factors that you could work on, and a lot of them can come into play. But if you start to focus on the habits of your life, focusing on fitness, focusing on nutrition, and having accountability of doing those, you will start to see results. And then I have a couple other things. If you start to assess the process periodically, and if you add in what I call boosters, which I'll go over here shortly, that is how you get those sustainable results. This is the model. Take a picture of it, write it down, whatever you have to do. If you do this, I promise you, you will get results. And really, to be honest, you can take this approach and almost put it into every little aspect of your life to some capacity. Now, you might have to make some little tweaks, but this is the model for health, fitness, and weight loss success. I've been practicing it for 14 years and making it better and improving it. I have done everything under the sun. I have worked with everybody under the sun to figure out, I've read every book under the sun, right? Like, this is what everybody has found that has been successful does. And I'm going to show you some people here, and they've all used this to some capacity one way or another, right? So what this has done for me personally is I can honestly say that I can now enjoy my life and have the confidence knowing that I can live a healthy life and have a good physique without having to give up all of my time to focus on this or the lifestyle I want to live or my family wants to live. And I can keep it so stupid simple that it's sustainable. And that is what I'm assuming all of you here want, right?
They said I'm not worth the BF steak. Hello, I'm elected. I'll make you.
Sorry, Ben, I'm turning you off. The monkey's crazy, man. I don't know what that is, but anyway, so 13 years, I discovered the hard way, right? I'm not expecting you guys to have to go through all that process that I just went through in order to get to the results that you want, right? Because the hard way, or AK, what we've been doing the last 13 years, or some of you have been doing for a long time, right? Is you feel you have to work out intensely every single day. You have to meal prep every week in order to eat perfectly in order to get results. Or you make separate meals for you and your family. Or you have to watch them eat your favorite food and you can't have it, right? That's the old hard way of thinking about how to do this. Yet you went and skipped events because you were embarrassed, or you didn't want to have that temptation when you got there. Or you felt you needed to spend 30 minutes with a coach every month or every week or whatever it is, just to keep it front of mind focus. Or you had to do extra cardio sessions outside of what you're already doing. You had to get rid of all the foods that you loved or eat all the things that you hate. And that was the only way to get results. You're probably spending well over 10 hours a week on that. And as I said before, ain't nobody got time for that. I'm sure you can relate. So what I want to do today is kind of take you through that 4-pillar process, the new and easier raw fitness weight loss formula. And that's what I want to do today. So the 3 secrets within those 4 pillars to losing weight. First one is you can actually spend less time in the kitchen, probably even than what you are now, in order to lose weight. And you do this, but you can spend less time on your weight loss. You can probably do it in less time than it takes you to do the laundry. So I'm sure all of us have to do the laundry at some point, or we're working with somebody that's doing the laundry or whatever it is. You can probably focus on your weight loss journey in less time than it takes you there. Now I know there's some people probably here with a lot of kids that are like, yeah, right, that takes me forever to do. I get that. But for the majority, the average, you can actually work on your weight loss focus in less time than it takes you to do laundry, which is actually,
what's up, guys? It's
less
Quandale
than
Dingle here.
2% of your overall weight. Or your overall week. Secret number 2 is the weight loss process doesn't have to leave you miserable. How many people are like,
Including
well, I want to
battery on
do
a
it. It
police officer.
sounds great. I know I'll get results, but I feel like I'm going to be miserable throughout the process. We want you to know how to lose weight without changing your lifestyle and it can be done no matter what your starting point is. And secret number 3, why not losing weight is actually a disservice to your family, and how to keep your time and energy focused on your family or your career and still get results. How many times have we been through this and we said, you know, hey, I really want to do this. I know I need to do this, but you know, I have Johnny's baseball game here, or I have this, or I have this work event. Like, how many times have we let that kind of get in the way of getting the results that we want, or taking the time that we needed to do to dedicate it to weight loss? So these are my 3 secrets to losing weight, sustainable for the long haul, so that you can lose your next 15 pounds and do so easier, more enjoyable, and still get the results that you want. So I'm going to dive deeper into these. So secret number 1, I said, in order to lose weight in a sustainable model, you can actually do so probably spending less time in the kitchen than you are now and still getting results. So let me take you back first, back to I'm pretty sure it was 2014. So hopefully this is correct. But it started with 2 conferences that I went to. I went to 2 kind of back to back. They both had a different focus. One was all about like holistic healing and things of that nature, and all about the internal body and what's going on with your body and habits and all of that. And it was a fantastic certification course in Toronto. It was unbelievable, actually. That's a picture of me right there, actually. And you probably can't see me in there. I'm in the back, but I'm under the wing there. But the first conference, you know, it kind of really helped me to reinforce that in order to find sustainable weight loss, you needed those 4 pillars. Like, that's what the whole conference was about. So it was kind of reinforcing that process of sorry guys, if you can't keep your can't keep your mic on, I'm gonna have to kick you out, guys, just so everybody, for respect out everyone else, so they can hear. So during that first conference, it was all about how to have sustainable weight loss using essentially our 4-pillar system that we were working on, right? And I thought that was really unique, that it just kind of helped reinforce what I was thinking, what I was trying to build. But the problem was, it was only going through about half to 3/4 of those 4 pillars. It was only really diving into 2, probably more like 3 of the 4 pillars. It wasn't until you know, the second conference that I, you know, kind of more of a light bulb went off, you know, because really to that point, I was still kind of doing things incorrectly, right? And you guys have probably been there, right? Maybe not getting results. So I was like, all right, well, we just need to work out more, or we need to eat less, or I need to meal prep more. I need to eat more perfect, or whatever, right? I was doing all these wrong things. And it wasn't until I had this second conference that, you know, the problem was we weren't incorporating that last piece. And I knew then, as I was working with people, I was trying to help them, and I was finding like what was working for some and not the others, that missing piece was accountability and support. And if we're not doing that part to the fitness, the nutrition, then we are probably going to falter at some point, or something's going to take us off track. We don't have anybody to bring us back or hold our hand or whatever it may be. And that is when we introduced our first 6-week challenge. It was much different than what the current ones that are going on now are. This was back in 2015, but it was designed to give the tools and support to achieve weight loss in an easier fashion. But there was still a problem, right? As I was still running into the issue of, yes, we wanted, and we created this all-inclusive weight loss formula. So we're getting there, we're getting good results, but there was still something missing, right? Is we were still making it too time consuming. We were making it was still too restrictive, right? Like, again, ain't nobody got time for that, you know? So we're still running into these same issues of having to spend too much time in the gym, having to spend too much time in the kitchen, not being able to live the life that we want. So we kept testing, we kept tweaking. Probably see this or always trying to improve. This is what we had over and over and over again until not need to be the killer. These are people and needs to take us time. It needs joy.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Danny.
Hey fellas, look, it's Squidward.
Hey, buddy, where you been?
Hit it, boys!
Welcome to Squidward's Tiki Land. Welcome to Squidward's Tiki Land. You can relax all day like a tiki can. Or lay out in the sun for a tiki tan.
Drink from a coconut that's full of phlegm.
You guys hear me? We good?
Yep, that's better.
Okay. I apologize, guys. I froze. I got cut out. All right. We'll get back to it, guys. So again, I apologize for that. All right. So as I was talking, I don't know where I got cut off, but we test, we tweak, and what we found is in order for these 4 pillars that that we're trying to build and we're trying to help people with is it needs to be easier, it needs to take less time, it needs to be more enjoyable, and it needs to be able to be customizable. And if it's not, then again, we're doing you guys a disservice. That is how you get sustainable results. If you take any little piece of this out, that is when you're susceptible to failure. That is where you're susceptible to not being able to get the results you want or falling off track or whatever it is. And that's what we were trying to create. Now, how many times, show of hands or whatever, like how many times have you guys been in a program or a situation where it has failed at some point? And if so, I want you to think like what of these 4 pillars were maybe not there, right? Like we have a lot of people that come over from, say, Weight Watchers, and Weight Watchers does some good things, but they only incorporate the nutrition part of it, right? Or a medical weight loss that maybe does some nutrition things, does a little bit of accountability, but they don't incorporate that, and Weight Watchers don't incorporate the fitness side of things, which is just as important, right? Or maybe you've done a fitness routine or a gym routine. Maybe you had some nutrition, but maybe no accountability, right? Or you just went to the gym and you just didn't really get anywhere. There's so many reasons why programs and opportunities fail, and it's because we're lacking a piece of the pie. And it's most people in programs just don't realize this, right? That there needs to be all of these things considered when trying to lose weight. So let's dive into that. So the first aspect is the fitness pillar, right? And it doesn't mean fitness is the number 1. It's just the order I put it in, right? There's no order that's important more so than the other. They're all equally as important. So fitness, and what I mean by fitness is in order to lose weight, we say that you have to do 3 45-minute workout sessions a week. That's it. Yes, could you get a little bit more benefits if you do a little bit more? Yes. 4 is probably more the sweet spot, but the baseline to like actually be able to get results if you do everything else is 45 minutes 3 times a week. That's 2 hours and 15 minutes. Okay. Not a whole lot of time given the whole amount of 168 hours in a week, right? So now within that fitness is you need to be doing during those 3 some aspect of strength training at least 2 of those days and some level of high intensity interval training. Those are the 2 types that we use at Raw, but like, and that there's a reason why we do that is we believe it's the pillar of the fitness is to do 3 45-minute sessions a week. Yes, would 4 be a little bit better? Yes, can some do 5? Absolutely. But 3 is like the minimum that if you do that, you can probably still see results there. Okay. Number 2 pillar is customizable nutrition. Again, it needs to be made easy and it needs to be enjoyable, right? Now, this is a broad topic, right? Everybody's uniquely different. Everyone has a different need. Everybody has a different family situation, right? It's not a black and white, do X, Y, or Z. Again, everybody's going to be uniquely different, but what you do need to do is you need to have a plan that you can do 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10 confidence level every single week, right? And if it's a plan that is too extreme, or it's a plan that you just don't have the time to follow through with, you need to have a conversation with yourself or a coach or whomever to figure out, what do I need to do to customize what I'm specifically doing in line with things that I will enjoy and follow through with, that's easy enough for me to follow through with and still get results. And a lot of you are probably looking at me like, that's not possible, right? It needs to be restrictive in order to get results, all that. I'm here to tell you that is not the case. You can do it in how I do it, and I'll even explain how I do it in a little bit here, but it doesn't have to be very extreme, okay? It can be done with very little thought and effort, but it needs to be able to be customizable. Third is healthy habits, having some core of habits, and maybe that's just with your eating, or maybe that's habits of getting in your 3 workouts, right? Or it can be something else. It can be diving into a different level of habit, something to lower your stress, or something to help you improve your sleep, because that's going to help with weight loss, or something to help get in more water, because that's going to help with weight loss. Now, those aren't necessarily part of the 4 pillars, but improving your habits or your habitual patterns is what is going to help you lose weight. And there's certain ways you can go about doing that. Again, everybody's uniquely different, that what's going to work for some might not work for others and vice versa. But if you form some level of a habit, even if it's super, super, super basic, that is how you get the results, right? If you say, no matter what, I'm going to set my alarm Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 a.m. I'm going to go to a 6:30 workout or whatever. And that's just what I'm going to do. And I'm going to set an alarm the night before to prep my stuff, like get my clothes out, whatever I need, so I can quickly go out the door, and then just start to take action on that. You build neurological pathways in your brain that make it easier and easier and compound on each other. And it just becomes so much easier. And that is those first steps in able to build sustainable weight loss. And the last is accountability. Okay. Is having somebody by your side to, 1, push you and challenge you, but for 2, to support you and help you when you're having those lack of motivation days, when you're not sure where to go next, when you hit plateaus, somebody that you can bounce ideas off of and help, that's a professional or an expertise in the field. And again, that doesn't even have to be a professional, just somebody that maybe knows a little bit more than you, to help you improve your current status. Because for whatever reason, us as human beings, maybe because we're tribal in nature, thrive on having somebody to report to, somebody to hold us accountable. And I guarantee you, everybody here, if you've had some level of accountability in your life, whether it's with Raw at the gym, whether it's doing a 6-week program, whether it's in school or work and you had a deadline that you had a boss telling you or a teacher telling you you have this deadline, you had some level of accountability, you probably took more action than if you had to do it on your own, right? Can anybody agree? Like when you've had to do something like that, that has probably been the case. It's human nature. It's very common. That is why it should be part of your 4 pillars in order to lose results or in order to lose weight to get results. And if you've been struggling, lack of one or all of these 4 pillars is probably why. But I'm here to tell you it is not your fault. There's so much information out there and so much misinformation out there that it limits your success or your ability to know what do I need to do next. All you need to do or need is the right tools and an explanation on how to do it in the right way within those 4 pillars. And that is why most programs fail, is they do not incorporate all 4 pillars. You look at tabloids, you look at social media, you look at the regular media. A lot of this has made you to believe that you need to spend half of your life, half of your week, half of your day doing all of these things to lose weight or do all these crazy exercises or spend hours on end in order to do this. And a lot of weight loss companies don't want you to figure this out. And whether they're ignorant to it or they don't want you to know that there's more to it. And I'm here to tell you why, because it's hard to provide all of this for an individual, at least at a reasonable like cost or time period, right? Is it takes a lot of time and effort for a coach or somebody to build out all these plans and to provide coaching and hold you accountable and do all these things. It is not easy. I've been doing it for 14 years. It takes a lot of effort and time. And that's why businesses usually kind of stay in their lane, right? They do what they know and hope that you get enough results that you feel good or fine or whatever. Or you add ancillary things to maybe help or whatever it is, instead of just saying, we're going to provide the solution for you. But that is why we do things different. That's actually why we put a cap on our membership. We only allow a certain amount of people in our programs because we do care and we want to provide that ultimate solution for people. And we can't do that if we have too many people, right? That's just the nature of it. So we're willing to take the sacrifice and hit in order to provide that level of solution so that you guys can live life with confidence, find health and happiness, because you guys all deserve to, right? You guys work your butts off. You do all these things. It is important for us to help you do that. So my girl, Erin, is on here today. I wanted to introduce you to her, right? Erin has used some of these 4 pillars. She's a mom of 3. She's down 25 pounds, 13% body fat. That's a lot. If you're not familiar with that, she's increased her muscle mass. And I had a conversation with Erin just the other day. And this is why I wanted to bring Erin up, is during our conversation, outside of a few 45-minute workouts throughout the week, she's developed the process or have gotten the right tools in her tool bag, if you will, that she actually doesn't spend any more time than she needs to or than she was before with other things in order to get results. And she attributes that to having the support of the right tools and guides and everything that works specifically for her. But that doesn't mean it's going to be the same for everybody. And I was going to share this little video of you, Erin, but I won't do it to you. But it was good. Oh, it's going to make you do it anyways. Oh, maybe not. I didn't know if it was going to work, so I didn't do it. But like Erin, like who does this work for? Who does this 4-pillar system or process work for? It works for moms or moms that want to get back to pre-pregnancy weight. It works for busy career-focused people. It works for stressed out business owners. It works for experienced go-getters who are stuck in neutral, right? It works for the retiree that's, maybe never exercised in their life. It works for people that maybe are obese or overweight and out of shape. It works for people that have had major injuries or health concerns. It doesn't matter who you are. This process can work, but it needs to be customizable. And that's the thing. You can be a working parent like these 4, right? Lisa, Tom, Rochelle, Tim, like they're working parents. They had to do their career. They had to take care of the families and still be able to focus on getting their body and mind where it needs to be. The mothers of the group, right? And what's awesome about some of these people is being able to do it for years using parts of the 4-pillar process, right? and utilizing in their life and being able to do it amidst everything else going on, right? Moms, business owners, right? And Teresa here, she probably love I'm showing her picture, is also a mom as well, right? Or the retirees, people that are retired or have, you know, they've gotten to that point in their career that they retired. Maybe they've never focused on this before. So they're like, well, I'm not sure I can do it. Well, you can still do it. And guess what? The funny part about this is all of these people, I'm sorry to put you out there like this, if any of you guys are watching.
You need to shut the fuck
Hey,
up.
man. Hopefully I caught him there. So sorry about that, guys. But a lot of these people, they were out of shape, right? When they started. And they can, I'm sure, attest to that as well. That pretty much most of the people that we work with are probably coming in because they need that help. They're not high advanced level athletes, anything like that. They needed help. They needed support. And that's what we want to do. And that's what I'm trying to show you today on what you can start to do that. So within that 4-pillar process, we just like to keep it interesting here on these lives, right? So within that 4-pillar process, I'm going to walk you through the step-by-step process in order to make those 4 pillars easier, more attainable for you, and the time commitment that it'll take for this. First, find your accountability partner or coach or buddy or whoever it is, and figure out together what are those cheat codes or what are those triggers and issues that you run into the most, that you need those cheat sheets or cheat codes, kind of like a video game, right? That you need to be successful. Because again, everybody's different. Some people have to entertain and go out to work a lot for work, right? So they need like an eating out guide, right? Some people are like, I just need to know what to do, when to cook it, how much to eat. They need a meal plan, right? Or somebody needs, they're on the go, they're a busy parent, they're running around, they work, blah, blah, blah. They need like grab and go options that they can have, like meals that will help them lose weight in under 10 minutes, right? So like everybody's going to be uniquely different. You need to have that conversation, figure out like, what is it that I need, right? That's going to help me. That'll take you a one-time 30-minute or less. I've had this conversation in 5 minutes, right, with people. So we'll just say a one-time 30-minute thing. And I mentioned some of these, like a portion guide, right? Like, how do I have simple, easy portions that fit my needs, fit my individual body without having to count calories, right? Because that's more time. You know, what's something that I can do without really even having to think, or a swap this for that guy? Like, how do I make my family's favorite meals and maybe just make a small tweak to it that's not taking any extra time? Excuse me. What are my eating out guides? I need meal plans. I need pre-cooked meals or juice cleanses. Maybe like our new nutrition lab testing that we do. Like, tell me what I shouldn't eat and I just will cut it out and boom, I'm losing weight now. Or meals that are under 10 minutes, grab and go, like weight loss in less time. You know, guides and meal prep guides and how to meal prep without really having to spend much time on it. If you like to do macro tracking, like guides on that, or intermittent fasting, or, you know, basic healthy eating habits guides, like there's the options are limitless. Step 2, which can be done in 5 minutes or less every single week, is look at what you have scheduled for the week ahead. Right? So you know what your cheat codes are, you know what your cheat sheets are, you have them in your hand, you're going through them, you're figuring out, okay, I have my cheat code, so I don't have to spend any extra time on what I'm already doing throughout the week. But in order to make it even more efficient, is say what events, what stuff is on my calendar coming up, and have some level of a plan for that, right? So if you know you have Johnny's baseball game on Wednesday night, what can you do for your out of your grab and go options, or where can you go out to eat with your eating out guide, maybe from even if it's a fast food place, like that you can grab and still be in line with it without having to think about it, without having to do extra work, but having your calendar so you know what's coming up so you can make it easier going forward. Now, I'm not even asking you to prep anything, to do anything, just to simply be aware of what's coming up so you can start to think about it. Okay. So that's step 2. Step 3 is to get in, we talked about this, your 3 45-minute sessions that can be tailored to your fitness level. Again, I already mentioned this. This is 2 hours and 15 minutes of your week. Okay, that's step 3. Step 4 is to do some level of a check-in, whether that's with yourself, whether that's with an accountability coach, which is recommended, but some level of saying, what did I do this week? How was it? Did I do everything I could have done to better my health, my weight loss journey, anything there? And what else could I have done differently or better going into next week? This can take you 2 minutes, right? So overall, time commitment of your 4-pillar weight loss journey can, again, I mentioned it earlier, take you less time than it takes you to do a load of laundry or your laundry throughout the week, which is essentially 1 to 2% of your week or about a few hours a week. Okay. That first week when you're planning kind of this process, you'll add that extra half hour for that goal setting session or what have you. But from there on out, it should even take you less time, right? How many of you feel like you can find 1 to 2% of your week, we'll even say upwards to 2% of your week, to focus on what you need to do to stop that like blah feeling and start to change your life? Like, give me a show of hands, like whatever it is, like we can all find 2% of our week to do this. So I know some of you may ask, like, well, what about cooking, or what about meal prepping? What about all this? Well, the great part is you're already doing a lot of that. You just need to know, have the right guy, the right cheat sheet, or whatever it is, so that you can do what you're already doing and not have to spend extra time and effort and still be able to hit your results, right? So if you're making the family tacos or burgers or spaghetti, you need to have the right plan to be able to still fit that within your overall goal and what you're trying to accomplish. Or maybe you need a grocery list with all the food listed of what you need, so you no longer have to spend time. What am I going to get? What are we going to order? What do I need to go and pick up, and everything there, where you're spending hours just trying to figure out what you're going to do, right? Maybe that works better for you. So I have something here for you that this is what I do. It's very, very easy. And I spend almost, especially once you do it for a couple of weeks, literally spend no time on it whatsoever other than a couple seconds at each meal. Is when you define your goal, you can simply figure out what are the portions I need to be eating simply by using something you have with you every single day. And that's your hand. You could literally never follow a meal plan or even change much of what you're doing outside of maybe a small couple tweaks to your portions or the ratios of your foods in order to hit the recommended portions for you and your goal, right? So if I look at this, like a portion of protein is thickness, height, width, size of your individual palm. Fistful of veggie is a serving of a veggie. A cupped hand is a serving of a carbohydrate. And a serving of a fat is the size of your thumb. Like if you can find like the ratios and portions, not having to count calories, not having to do, track your food, anything like that, simply just looking at it and saying, does this relate to my goal? Okay, if I miss this at this meal, how do I get it, in the next meal or whatever it is? It can almost literally take you no time at all. And this personally is what I do every single day. And I never have to think about anything. Okay. So with that is, with the right cheat sheets or cheat codes, you could end up spending less time than you did before. As I mentioned, myself, right, is myself specifically is I literally spend less time than I ever did before just by saying what am I going to eat, or what am I eating today, or whatever it is, and line it up with my hand as a portion guide. So I'm not overeating, right? It's so simplistic that it works, right? And it's sustainable. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to put in extra work for it. So having guides that have plans with meals or grocery lists created for you, take it a step further, have the tools to have pre-cooked meals options cooked for you, have cheat sheets on how to make your family's favorite meals, yet still be in line with your results, or having options that are grab and go, yet still in line with your results, that you never have to find yourself. Julie used this, and if she's on, she'll probably laugh. She used this the other day, so I stole it from her. Never find yourself with your pants down, right? In any situation. So you're not going through the day and you had a busy day at work and all of a sudden you're like, crap, what am I going to do for blank meal or whatever it is? Like finding a way that you never have to worry about that again, right? And still be able to enjoy going out to eat or, you know, eating the food you love and living the current lifestyle that you want to live. Okay. So that is the first part of the secret to sustainable weight loss and made in a faster way. I got this little green little thing on here that's driving me nuts. So secret number 2 is the weight loss process doesn't have to leave you miserable, and how to lose weight without changing your lifestyle, and can be done no matter what your starting point is. Okay. And meet Julie, who I already mentioned. And I love this picture of Julie, and it's a great representation of weight, because weight can be very misleading, right? Is if you look at those two pictures, she looks way more than 10 pound or 9 pound difference. But Julie has been down this journey for many, many years. I've known Julie forever. We've had a lot of conversations. We've done a lot of different things, and she's a testament to using the 4 pillars to her success, right? She's a working mom of 2. She's down over 20 pounds of just straight body fat, 10% of her actual body fat. She's increased her muscle mass. And again, we had a conversation the other day, and she mentioned in our podcast, if you listen to that, but she only eats foods that she loves, and she's actually spending less time on being healthy than she ever has before, right? She didn't do anything crazy. She did the raw workouts, but she did everything else there. And as I mentioned, she's spending less time on her cooking and prepping because now she knows what she needs to do. She has her routine. She's just spending very little time and effort on it, which makes it easier. She loves the food she's eating, so it's more enjoyable. And it's not that Julie's like some health nut freak that like loves only like kale and spinach only, right? Like Julie eats like real foods, right? And it's funny, and I'll let Julie jump in here in a couple minutes, but like she and sorry Julie for putting this out there, but Julie used to avoid events, right? Like we'd have conversations and she wouldn't go to events because she wouldn't want to be tempted by stuff. She doesn't do that anymore. She goes out, she has fun, she enjoys her life, but she has her plan, she has her tools, she has her accountability to figure out how to do that and still get or keep her results that she's gotten. And you know what Julie used to have to do is work out every single day, 7 days a week, meal prep, cook for hours, you know, Julie and us, eat foods that she didn't like or avoid foods that she loved. And I already mentioned it, going out to events or not going out to events because of the temptation or embarrassment or what have you, and just be miserable, right? But it doesn't have to be that way. And Julie, I'll bring you in here in 1 second, because I think your story is pretty powerful. But before I do that, like, I came across this, and it was actually almost kind of even frustrating. Like, I've heard this before. I'm sure all of you have heard this before, but the 80-20 rule, that 80% of your results come from about 20% of the effort. So that is what this new kind of process is. And I really got this when I read the One Thing. It's called by Gary Keller. I would highly recommend anybody to read it. It's a fantastic book. But what it says is, cut out all the trim the fat, if you will. Like, you don't have to be doing all of these crazy things where I mentioned before that you have to spend 10+ hours on your weight loss journey in order to get results. Do the 20% that are going to be most successful for you, and let that result in 80% of the time, because again, it's going to be more sustainable. It's going to be enjoyable. It's going to be easier for you. And really, ultimately, because you're going to have less stress, you're going to have less things to worry about, it's probably going to take you a lot less time too. So the new way, a better way, is taking the 4 pillars, doing it in a certain way, and taking this approach, setting a goal, finding a specific outcome that you want to achieve. It needs to be quantifiable. It needs to be saying like in 90 days, I did blank, yes or no. Like it can't be subjective or like, oh yeah, I think I did that, or no, I'm not sure if I did that. It needs to be like, yes, I did, or no, I didn't. And then you need to utilize a custom plan with the right tools that fit your needs. So if you're one of those that need the meal plans, you need a grocery list, you need just tell me what to do, when to eat it, how to eat it. That might be the best custom plan for you, built out based on your metabolic rate and all those things, right? Or maybe you're like, yeah, that's a little extreme for me. I like the Danny approach. I'm just going to use my hand as a portion guide, right? So figuring out what are those guides and tools, or you know what? I don't want to cook. I don't want to worry about it. I don't want to spend any time on that. I'm just going to order a couple pre-cooked meals because I struggle 3 nights a week usually with dinner. So I'm just going to order a couple meals already cooked for me, right? You're putting those things out there to make you be more successful and do it in an easier fashion. So step 1 is set your goal. Step 2 is create your custom plan. Step 3 is find somebody that you can be accountable to. Who can you be accountable to? Find a coach, right? We provide that for a lot of our members that want to utilize that here at Raw. It can be a friend, it can be a family member, somebody like say, hey, here's $100. Keep it if I don't follow through with this, or give it back to me if I do follow through with this, right? Like I'm sure your friends would have a lot of fun with that, poking fun at you with it. But it's a very good resourceful tool to say like, all right, well, I'm financially invested, right? I have to follow through with it. You're going to be a little bit more accountable. But you then need to assess periodically. I recommend every 90 days, kind of in between that as well, but for sure every 90 days. And you need to make pivots or tweaks to the plan, right? So if you set that outcome goal and you say, this is what I want to accomplish, it's quantifiable, right? There's a kind of like a number associated to it. You know, if we're talking about weight loss, it's a weight loss number, say. You need to have periodic checkpoints and assessment points to say, am I where I need to be at this point? Or did I reach my target? And if not, why? And change it, or change your guides, or change your custom plan, or whatever it is. Or if you did, what's the next step? What's the next goal? What's the next thing I need to do? If you do that, you're going to start to see a lot of results, and it takes literally no time other than a couple minutes. Step 5, though, is to add boosters. Okay, boosters, if you remember the 4-pillar, you took a picture of it, the 4-pillar program, or what Raw Fitness does, there's those 2 ancillary parts of assessments and boosters. Boosters could be things like extra like jumpstart programs, or it could be like extra like certain supplements, or it could be like a cleanse or a juice cleanse or something like that. Like there's a lot of different types of boosters that I call them, but there's different things that you can periodically throw to maybe get you like a level up or a quicker result in a short term. And then you go back to the 4-pillar, like focusing on the couple, like prioritizing things to get more steady results and different things there, and then have those boosters kicked in. Now, how many of you feel you could spend a couple minutes every 90 days to plan that out and do that? I'm sure most of you can find, if it's important enough to you to have these weight loss goals, that you could probably find the time to handle that, right? And that's what we do in that 6-week spring shred challenge that's starting, right? That's the essence of those types of programs. You know, so I have Julie here. I have a video of Julie, but Julie, are you with me here? Can you go off mute?
I am with you, Danny.
Julie, so like I mentioned you when we were talking about, you know, like you just love your process. You love life. Like it's so easy now for you, when before it was like it was such a stressful process, and you look at the scale every day and all blah, 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 blah. Like now you make it easy, enjoyable, sustainable. Like like, how has that helped you? Or what are what was the like thing that made you realize that that's what you needed to do?
I just think like now, and I think we use the word like there's no thought process anymore. There's no thought process in my eating. There's no thought process in my working out, which, I think I said, like, if anyone's listened to the podcast, but I dieted on and off since the day I got married, if I can remember, or at least since I've had kids. So I've always been like on or off, or doing good or doing bad, or feeling good or feeling bad. But I've tried like every diet under the sun, right? I mean, I did Atkins, I did low fat, I did Weight Watchers, I did everything, and always had some success, but always went back to my old habits. So like you said, that's number one, right? Is like, I really had to break some habits. And for me, a lot of that was like mindset and stress, how to handle stress. So those are, I guess, two of the big things for like the habit area that I had to fix. Fitness, I kind of just like, and again, like some people think like I'm a workout fanatic, like you said, right? Like I'm working out all the time. I work out for 45 minutes a day. Sometimes I do nothing else the rest of the day. I don't run outside of the gym. I don't exercise outside of the gym for the most part. I mean, besides maybe walking. I just do, 45-minute workouts, maybe 5 or 6 days a week. Nutrition, definitely like my big thing, like you said, for me personally, that having to like count and track and weigh, like I would be all excited about a new diet or a new whatever was happening, and then it just became too much for me. That's not my personality to want to spend that much time focusing on something like that, right? So again, I really found like the foods I like, that I enjoy, and I eat them every day for the most part. And like you said, now I don't stress about food. I don't worry about food. I eat pretty much, I hate to say whatever I want. I would say I eat the same staples every day for the most part because I like them and I feel good when I eat them. But then I don't stress about when I have other things, I guess, So nutrition was really key to like kind of tighten it up and find like what works for me and my, body. And then the accountability. I mean, like I would not be here if it wasn't for all the coaches at Raw and the community at Raw. Like I 100% still to this day, even after like kind of been on track for the past couple years, I still will reach out like, okay, let's work on this. Let's try this. I'm going to meet with you next month. And I want to focus on like getting my body fat down or getting my muscle up, or I want to work on my arms, or I want to work on my legs, or I want to work on like a fitness goal, or maybe I do want to tighten up a little bit and lose a couple of pounds. So, but I always kind of force that accountability almost, right? I force myself to be accountable to somebody because it is hard to do it on your own. Like if nobody cares, I guess, right? So that's like a huge part of it. And then, like you said, the little boosters, like I just did a 2-week, it was almost like for fun, just to be part of a team and kind of to give me something to focus on, but did a little 2-week, like we did a little 2-week kind of spring shred thing, right? So it's not that I really needed to lose weight. It was more like, I'm gonna do that with my team and it will be fun. It'll help me kind of, just shed a little bit and like kind of cleanse my system. And it was great. So those little boosters help just to kind of keep something going, right? Like we did with the pull-ups, right? So like, I'm gonna try and do pull-up, and then I worked on that for a few weeks. Or I told Danny I was gonna do backflips next. So now I need to start working on that.
Better get to it.
So yeah.
Yeah, and it's and that's why I love your story. It's a lot of people can relate to the trials and tribulations that you've been through, and it's you used to do things that were so complicated, and now you don't, and now you
Yeah.
got results. Like it's just so uniquely backwards to what everybody thinks needs to be the case, and really a lot of it, and I'm sure you can attest to it. A lot of the times the problem that most people have is they put so much stress and pressure on themselves that stress is probably limiting your ability to get results, right? Because stress in nature of it is a hormone that tells your body to store body fat, right? If you're in a stressful state. So if you're under constant stress of like, oh, I gotta meal prep here, I only have 1 day off, like I gotta do it all day meal prepping, or I gotta get in 7 days a week of workouts or whatever it is, like you're gonna be stressed out. Like it's gonna be much harder for you. So why not find something that works better for you, is more customizable for you,
Yes.
and get even better results, and it takes less time. Like that's a win-win, you know?
Yes, and I think the other word I used to you a lot was like, trying to always like succeed or then fail is exhausting. And I'm saying that with like all the emotion I can, portray. Like it's, and I'm sure so many people have been there. Like I've been there for so many years. It's exhausting. And then when you feel like you fail, it's hard to kind of get back. So when you feel like you fail, you kind of slide down that slippery slope again, and then you get up and try again, and you slide down that slippery slope. Like you're never really figuring out how to make it work for you. And like you said, still being like living your life and enjoying your life and being happy and not having to like we said, like I haven't said the word diet in a couple of years. I never considered myself on a diet. This is just how I eat. Workouts are just part of my day, and I don't even think about it anymore. And that's crazy because I thought about it every day, every second I woke up for as long as I can remember. As long as I can remember.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
no,
like you said, time-wise, like food and workouts are just I look at my work schedule, just like you said, ahead of time. I know it, I plug in my workouts, whether I go in the morning or whether I go in the evening or whether I go on the weekends. Like I plug them in around my work schedule. And food is like, I know what I eat. I know what foods to have in the house. And like you said, I never get caught with my pants down. I know how long of a day I'm going to have. If I'm teaching or whatever I'm doing, like I plan my day ahead of time, sometimes the night before. There's no thought process in it, right? I make my morning smoothie. I throw my stuff in there. I don't have to measure. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to track anything. I already know what works. And now it's just my lifestyle.
Yeah. And that's awesome, Julie. And it's, I greatly appreciate hearing your story. I've known you a long time, so I can kind of really resonate with it. And it's just telling, right? Like more is not always better. Harder isn't always better. And it just needs to be figured out, like how do I incorporate these 4 pillars to whatever degree in order to get the results? Because once you start getting down that roller coaster, sometimes that's why you might need some of those boosters up front to get the ball rolling, to get motivated, to get some results so you can continue. That's, where the magic starts to happen. So Julia, I do appreciate you kind of sharing that story with us and, kind of sharing your feedback there.
Kind of that's what I was going to say too, is like, for me, I had that, and it happened during COVID just by chance for me, but that was my Kickstarter, right? That time during COVID to kind of like really hone things in. And by the time those few weeks were over, I saw like what was possible. And I kind of had some habits in place. So I think that's why the 6-week program works so good, because it gives people that kickstart,
Yeah. So that's kind of like that 4 pillar, right? Like if it can be faster, if it can be, like Julie said, be less stressful, be more enjoyable, like that's pretty freaking awesome, man. And that's what we want to make sure you guys are doing and getting out of that. So it leads to kind of the secret number 3, like why not losing weight can actually be a disservice to the family, and how you can instead focus your time and energy on your family and still get the results, right? So how many people, I know me, myself, this is a great, situation, or not a great situation, a bad situation that I get into if I'm like not working on my health, or I'm not getting my workouts in like I normally do, or whatever it is, right? If my glass is empty or whatever, I'm not taking care of my body, I become a wreck, right? Like I don't have the patience, I don't have the energy, I don't have the willpower to, in this picture, be a good parent. And that sounds terrible, but it's the truth, right? Is if I'm not doing what I need to do in order to focus on me and my health, again, doesn't mean I'm like neglecting my family in order to go to the gym or whatever it is, but I'm figuring out ways to do it in an easier way so that I can be better and have more energy and be more productive and be a good role model for my children. It's only going to help them, because now I have the patience to teach them things. They're seeing me take care of myself and my body. I'm not as stressed out. I can talk with them. I can not freak out and things like that. And I get amped up with anxiety sometimes, quite frequently. And when I'm not working out, or I'm not focusing on my health, or eating crappy things, I get way worse, right? So doing this or not doing this and focusing on weight loss and focusing on improving your health and all that can actually be a negative to your family. Where a lot of people, and I know Aaron, we've talked about this, like you felt guilty about doing it at first, right? When really, if anything, it's only going to help your family, right? Whereas, this picture, as I kind of already mentioned, like when the glass is full, when you're filled with health and vibrance and energy, it's only going to correlate to better relationships, better career, better workouts and performance, right? Like it's only going to help enhance everything in your life. So I know you might be asking, like, this makes sense, but how do I feed my family and myself and still get results? Well, the quick answer is you need some level of like a swap guide. Like, how do I know which things to eat and not eat that are right for me? And how do I easily kind of swap them out, right? The first thing you need to do is find your numbers, right? We talked about setting a goal and having numbers, like do an in-body scan or do some type of body composition scan or whatever it is. At the very least, if you get your weight, you kind of know like some of your starting points, right? Find out what your numbers are, and then take a look at and gather all of your meals that you normally would do. So if you take your last 4 weeks or 8 weeks or whatever it is, like what on average do you normally eat every week, right? Gather all that together. Like every Wednesday, because we have this event, I always stop here or one of these couple places. Like write that down, figure it out. And then start to figure out, and again, that's where like the hand portion guides or the swap this for that guide, or simply the nutrition lab testing opportunity, like that you can do to say like, okay, like if I'm going to use the hand guide for this, example, if I need, based on my portions or for my weight loss specifically, if I need to eat less carbohydrates, I can just simply sub out a carbohydrate in the meal for a veggie or a fat. Or if I'm not getting enough protein and I need a protein, I can simply just add a simple grab and go option for protein to the meal, right? Or if I need to be eating less fat, I can sub out a carb or a veggie for that, depending on what your goals and your body needs. So again, for an example, if it's Taco Tuesday, right? And the family's having tacos, we love tacos, we're doing all this, and I've hit my carb portions for the day, right? If I have, whatever my carb ratios are for my cupped hand of carbohydrates for the day, if I've already had that, well then, okay, I'm going to look at my meal. Where's my carb coming from? Probably the tortilla. I'm simply going to, instead of having the tortilla, I'm going to put it on a bed of lettuce and then have everything else the same. Literally took zero time other than putting salad in a bowl, and you got to eat with the family. You didn't have to spend any extra time, any extra work, anything like that. And you still got to focus on yourself, focus on feeding the family, not having to worry about cooking extra, but you just made a small tweak that take literally no time. And this can be done anywhere at any time. This can be done at restaurants. This can be done if you're traveling. This can be done if you're at home or whatever it is. Like you can make these small hand portion adjustments. That's why I really like that for simplicity, in order to still get your results. And that leads to, like, weight loss used to be hard, but it doesn't have to be anymore. You just need a model that works, right? The 4-pillar system works, and there's a reason why it works. And we've talked about why it works, right? And we got Teresa. Like, I remember the first conversation I had with Teresa. She's a business owner, a mother too. Like, she came in, she's like, it was around COVID, like enough is enough. Like, I haven't been working out. I haven't been doing anything. I've kind of lost control. Like, she found that making her health a priority only made it easier as a parent, as a business owner. And she's been through a lot lately. And it didn't have to be so hard nor complicated, and that it can be easy. And the funny thing is, like, Teresa and we were talking a while back, and she's like, I don't know what you do at Raw, but you have like a magic potion. It just like I'm able to figure it out. Well, Teresa, I'm here to tell you the magic potion is the 4 pillars, right? And the fact that people care about you, right? So not only do you have the accountability, but you also have that community, the support, and different things there that are looking out for you and not just putting you another number in the box, right? So having that 4-pillar system, kind of allowed Teresa to do that. I had a video here of Teresa as well, but going pretty long here, so I won't do the videos. So, you know, we've been talking about it. And again, if you have questions, you can start to ask questions in the comments. I apologize, guys. I do just see now that we had a couple interruptions in the comments in the voice here. Good old live TV. I do apologize about that. So we talked about our 3 secrets: how to spend less time in the kitchen than you probably are now, how to make weight loss a more enjoyable process, and how to get results, and why it's important to lose weight for your family, not just lose weight, but just being healthy for your family, and how you can still do that and focus on your family, right? So if I was to follow the 4-pillar formula and have a custom plan built for me with cheat code options created to help me to do it in just a few hours a week, while still being able to enjoy what I'm eating and keeping up with my family's lifestyles, how many think that I would get results from that? Like Julie, like Aaron, like Teresa, like some of the people that we talked about. Like, if I can find and do a very easy process, how likely am I to get results and maintain those results, which is just as important? I think it'd be very likely that I would. So I want to ask you a question here. I know a lot of you guys are probably like sitting there like, all right, Danny's been talking forever. Like, then I heard from Julie, like we've been talking about a lot of things. There's like a lot going on. It's kind of overwhelming, right? There's a lot to it, even though the process itself is relatively simplistic. And I already mentioned, it doesn't have to take a lot of time, but it's probably a lot. So I want to ask you a question. If you guys don't mind, if I can spend 10 minutes or so, I want to talk about what we can do to help you with this 4-pillar process, and how we can kind of hold your hand, if you will. And I'll even smile at you like that picture there. And I'll make Justin, for those that know Justin, hold your hand there as we walk you through this. So if you guys are okay with this, I want to go over how we can kind of help you with this 4-pillar process and just make it easier for you and give you kind of the structure that you need. So we do have coming up our 6-week Spring Shred Challenge program that it's a little bit different than what ones we've done in the past. And we've added some kind of new nuances and tweaks to it, and guides and everything there to help make this easier, less restrictive, and more enjoyable while still getting results. So within the program, we've created all these different cheat codes and sheets and guides in order for you to be able to have a custom plan that's built out for you, and do so and have like a cheat sheet that says like, this is what you need to do without any extra work or time involved, or very little to do that. Like, you will get access to all these different cheat codes in order to do that. You will have one-on-one accountability with a coach and meet with them every single week, whether it's virtual, in person, on the phone, whatever works for you to make it easier for you. 7 days a week support and kind of priority support, first in line with our support system. Our meal plan guides made easy, different custom nutrition options. We have a couple new things that we're doing within this 6-week Spring Shred Challenge to make it even more easier. Is that good? That's probably not good English. Hey, where's Steve when you need him? It's to make it easier and more customizable for the nutrition. You're going to have access to our coaching-led workouts for all fitness levels. And then you're going to have the weekly check-ins, and the accountability throughout every single week in order to help make losing the next 15 pounds much easier. But it came from a need, right? All of that stuff that I just went over was because of trial and tribulation and having conversations with people like yourself, or people that have done the program that have gotten results and everything there. Like, what do you need to be successful, right? We found like people need accountability. We talked about that. People need a positive, supportive place that can customize workouts and nutrition in order for them to be successful and make it easier, right? People need to have some level of guides and cheat sheets based on their own individual situation to help them along. And that's why we created it. And that's why we created the 6-week challenge, because it's one of our boost programs, like I talked about, within the 4-pillar process. Okay. And these are some of the people that have went through that process. Vanessa, she's been working out for 25 years, and this is one of the best, right? She got to her goal weight. She lost the weight that she was trying to do. She did the 4-pillar process and it worked for her. Or we have Chris, right? Chris was actually very hesitant to do her first one. She didn't want to do it. I think she actually won it for free, and then she did a bunch of them after too. But she ended up doing it. She loved it. She was using the guides and the plans and different things there, and she got amazing results and had it for years, right? And then we have Paige, same thing. Paige she started with a 28-day one and got a ton of results, did a couple more after there as well to boost it even further. But in order to get the results that she wanted, she had to make sure she was using the 4-pillar process. So who does this work for? I talked about it already. This 4-pillar process works for pretty much everybody. Moms, busy career focused people, stressed business owners, experienced go-getters who are stuck, retirees, people that might be overweight or obese or just getting started or out of shape, people that have major injuries or health concerns. It will work for you because not only are we hitting all aspects of it, but it is also customizable. Okay. Now, I know you're thinking, I don't have time. How am I going to be able to do this? Right? Don't worry. That's what the program is for. Within this program, you're going to get access to our virtual and recorded workouts. We're going to give everybody that does the challenge right now access to our open gym where you can come utilize the gym at any point during the day. So it doesn't matter. If we're open, you have an opportunity to come in and get a workout throughout the week. You can get our guide for like, how do I stay on track if I'm too busy, I can't cook, and you can have meals that are most of them are 5 minutes or less. Some of them are 10 minutes or less. It's a guide for you to like quick, easy, very simplistic. It'll still stay on track with it. Create a meal or create a plan that doesn't add any extra time to your schedule, whether it's nutrition or whatever it is. Or we even have opportunities to provide grocery lists for you or even pre-cooked meals. So you don't even have to think about it. You can just grab your meals and go. Now, normally what this is, $597. This is the new program. That's normally what the cost is. It's not going to be for you guys. We're also going to be giving you the Transformation Jumpstart package. So this is where we start to create a custom nutrition guide specific to you. You're going to get the one-on-one coaching every single week and the goal setting up front, 2 of our InBody scans. You're going to get $5 coupons off for a juice cleanse. If you want to use that, it's optional. Supplementation. You're going to get our fat loss hacks, some more guides to make it even easier for you. We're also going to be giving you our eating out guide, which is insanely extensive. Like so what that is, like, if you go to an Italian restaurant, look for these things, eat these type of things. If you go to a Chinese restaurant, like do this. If you're going to you're out of town or you're going to a barbecue, like it's got everything. It took me a long time to make. It's really cool though. But you'll get that. You'll get our meals in under 10 minutes. This is all free to you guys for this first 6-week program. And again, all of that came from a need, right? People are like, well, I need grab and go. I need, in order to be successful, I need to know what I need to do if I'm going out to eat. I need, opportunity to be able to get in a workout whenever I can. I need boosters like supplements or juice cleanse or whatever it is, right? There's all these different things that came from a need from people that have gone through the 4-pillar process in order to get even more results, right? And then what you get through this, as I mentioned, 7 days a week access, almost even 24 hours a day. Like our coaches are on top of always communicating with you guys and getting constant support. 24 coaching led sessions throughout it. Custom nutrition plans and guides, like I mentioned, weekly compliance and communication, weekly check-ins with the coach that can take as little as 3 minutes. They can be very, very quick and easy, but you can still get results from that. Access to all of our cheat sheets to make weight loss easier, and just having less stress and having to worry about more time to figure out what you need to do and how you need to be successful. We do all of that work for you up front, right? That's putting the pressure on us to help you be successful, right? And you'll be able to get rid of a lot of these types of things. You won't have to meal prep as much or plan as much. You have a heck of a lot less stress during the week. You're going to spend, get rid of all like spending unnecessary hours in the gym. Like if you're, going to Planet Fitness on your off days or whatever it is there, you can get rid of that. You can cut out any of those unused or ineffective gym memberships like a Planet Fitness, right? You can, spend less time stressed trying to figure out how to do all of this stuff. You can save time figuring out like an outfit that you want to wear, right? You can just go into the closet and pick what you want because you're going to be comfortable in what you're wearing. You can get rid of any apps to like count calories. You can save money on grocery bills because we'll teach you all that. Save money on doctor's visits and medications and even certain supplements that you feel you have to take. You can save money on shopping for new clothes every time your weight fluctuates, right? Like I know that's something that a lot of us struggle with when we have that up and down roller coaster I mentioned at the beginning, right? So these are all the things that we used to have to do in order to be successful. Work out intensely every day, meal prep for perfect meals, eat separate from our family, spend 30 minutes talking with a coach every couple weeks, do extra cardio, getting rid of all of our favorite foods, eating things that we hate, skipping events with friends and family, spending 10 plus hours a week on this. But we don't have to do that anymore. So I had some people ask me some questions, and I do want, if you guys have any questions here, I had some people say, well, I'm not able to work out. Like I have a bad knee or whatever it is. So one thing that we're doing, and will be new to everybody here, is we're not a gym designed for like super high level advanced athletes. That's not who we are. That's not who we're working with. It's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to get people to help them lose weight, feel better about themselves, and just live healthy and happy, right? And doing that through health and fitness. We are developing and implementing next week our 2-level program that we always do modifications and things like that, but now it's a lot more structured where we have exact 2 levels that if you're more advanced, you can start to even do more. If you're, just starting out or have had injuries or whatever the case may be, you can do all of these tier programs here. And so you don't have to worry about like, oh, I'm gonna, leave, get left behind, or I'm going to hold up the session or whatever it is. You don't have to worry about that. You will be able to participate. Anybody can partake. And then we even have avoidance exercises for anything that you might need extra help with, and the staff is learning the process and the implementation of that. Rena, I believe, is on here as well, but just talk about the other day, like don't let injuries or anything stop you from doing that, because the support, the encouragement, the ability to modify and make adjustments for anybody's capability, you can do this. So don't let that be a deterring factor for you. It sounds great. Another question, but I have this going on in a couple weeks. Well, luckily for this program, you get access to all of our travel workout options, whether it's our PDFs, whether it's our, you're going to get full access to all virtuals. There'll be unlimited sessions that you can do virtuals added to your program. You'll have pre-recorded that you can do as many there as you want as well. Like you'll have all these different options. You'll have the eating out guide, so you can eat out anywhere you want and find the best options to keep you on track. And you'll still have constant communication with your coach so they can help you make plans or adjustments while you're gone. Because here's the thing, right? I put it on here. We will always have something coming up, right? We have Easter coming up this Sunday, and then we'll have Memorial Weekend, and then we'll have summer, we're traveling, and then we have Labor Day, and then we have the holidays, and right, there's always going to be something coming up. So if we can't commit to figuring out how to focus on our weight loss journey now, we're never going to do it. And you're going to be in this same vicious cycle 6 weeks from now, 6 months from now, 6 years from now. So might as well do it now, right? We've had, some people ask us like, well, 6 weeks is a long time. Like, I don't know if I can do it for that long. And going from like nothing to like 100 is a little bit too much for me. Well, as I mentioned in the program, the 4-pillar process is only going to be effective if it's customizable. We can scale this and tailor this to make it so simplistic that my 6-year-old can do it, right? That's the purpose of this, is to make it so easy for somebody that they walk away with the plan saying, on a scale from 1 to 10, I feel 10 that I can follow through with this hands down, right? So it doesn't matter your starting point, you can do this. And I'm not calling these people old, so don't say that, but kind of like 40 plus, right? Like we get a lot of questions like that, like, oh, I'm too old. I'm past the point that I can get results. I'm here to tell you, age is not a factor in this, right? I don't care what somebody tells you. Will as you get older, will it be a little bit harder? Sure, but not that much harder, right? It's not about the age, it's about the process. That's the issue, about not diving into the 4-pillar process. You can get results no matter what your age. Again, I'm not calling any of these people old, but I'm just using an example. Like, you don't have to be 30 to do it. You don't have to be 20 to do it, right? You can get results in all facets of life. I showed you somebody that was 68 that lost 20 something pounds in one of our last programs earlier in this slideshow, right? Like age is not a factor, right? It's just about the process that you do within this. Okay. Or I don't have the funds, right? But if you're spending unnecessary hours in the gym, meal prepping, having less stress, less time to figure out what you're doing, saving time on figuring out an outfit, saving money on grocery bills, doctor visits, medications, all of these different things, and decreasing your stress, and you'll have more energy to get things done. It's going to pay itself back in the long run anyways, right? And we offer meal or payment plans anyway. So we can make it very easy on you to be able to do and afford. Well, what if I'm a member? If you are already a member or you already signed up for the challenge and you are a member, well, we got your back too. What we are going to offer you guys is if you did want to do the challenge and you're already a member, we're going to do something special for you because we actually have a secret program that we haven't even told anybody about yet. I think I told one person about it, but it's going to be a 12-week long program. It's awesome. It's like you can't not get amazing results in it. And it's what the 6-week spring shred program is, but it's like that next level. And even like, it's just like all about you, right? We're going to essentially kind of give you that for an additional 6 weeks at the same price point or package as the challenge. If you want to take advantage of it, you're not locked into it. You don't have to do it. But if you're like, hey, I'm rocking it in these 6 weeks, I want to take advantage of that at this, like essentially saving $100 a week option, like you'll be able to get all of these things. So $50 off your lab nutrition. So we know exactly what foods you should and shouldn't be eating. All the guides that we have associated with that. You'll get 3 pre-cooked meals your first week, which is essentially be week 7. You'll get an even more advanced custom meal plan and macros and different things there. You're going to get a meal plan associated with like body type and gender. You're going to have even more in-depth meetings with the coach and everything there. You're going to get even higher level support ticket, weekly weigh-ins and check-ins. You're going to get a whole month worth of supplements recommended as part of that program. You're going to get a 2 times per week pass for an accountability buddy. Accountability is key, right? That you can give to a family member, friend, anything. They can use it with you for a whole month. And if you wanted to like really take it up and you wanted to spend extra time, you could do daily accountability, food logging, and things like that if you wanted to. So we're going to do that for our current members. If you signed up for the challenge, kind of as our first instant access to our upgraded transformation package, if you wanted to take advantage of that for the same price point that I'm going to share with you for the challenge. So it's pretty cool. So now I kind of already mentioned it. It'd essentially be $100 less than what that program that I just mentioned would be, which is, I'm telling you now, is going to be about $2,500 for that one. But so what are you going to get so far? So we got the spring 6-week challenge that I talked about, all the jumpstart packages. So like the weekly meetings, the scans, the coupon codes for the supplements, different things there, the custom nutrition, all of that is going to be included. And that normally all that stuff is close to $1,000 when we do it. What we're also going to be doing, if you're doing this challenge, is we're going to do a live meal prep training during the first week. So this became a need because I myself and many others have wasted so much time and effort on meal prepping every single week and figuring out how do I do this and how do I do that. And their only day off is Sunday. And all of a sudden they just spent 3-4 hours meal prepping. That's a huge need. That's a huge red flag. That is not in line with making a 4-pillar process successful. So we want to teach you how to do it quickly, if you even need it at all. So within that, you're going to learn how to do it in no time at all, how you're going to learn the best options to get to buy or at the grocery store and prep. And again, make it as easy as possible. You're going to learn how to do it for your family. You're also going to learn how you can actually do it by saving time throughout the rest of your week and how to make it very easy, and a heck of a lot more when it comes to the meal prep training there. So you can start to do more things like this if you like to read and hang out with your dog. But I guess you can spend that extra time instead of meal prepping on whatever you would like. So we're going to add that to the program, but we are also going to do a live grocery store tour So I'm gonna literally take my phone. I'm gonna go live with you guys, and I'm gonna walk around the grocery store in real time and talk about how you can save money at the grocery store, how you can get in and out of there super quick, how you can like read labels, do all these things so you can make it so easy, so simplistic, save time, save money, and do all the things in the right manner, because I've wasted a lot of time doing that. I used to do it, come home, and I was like, man, I don't even really have anything I needed, or I wasted a ton of money. I got it. I was going through my week and I was like, man, I don't even have like a plan for what this is, right? So I wasted a lot of time. I set myself up for failure, like I just mentioned during the week. So I was like, what am I even doing with, like, none of this stuff even like matches or mixes up well or whatever it is. And it was a waste, right? So I didn't know how to find the best deals. I didn't know how to find healthy options for me and my family, and I would spend an extra $50 to $100 every single time I went to the grocery store, right? It was a complete waste. And I would spend 1 to 2 hours a week. I'm going to show you how to do it, get it done in no time at all. So you'll be able to save time, money, find better deals, find the right foods for you and your family that are healthy, that are in line with your goals. Learn how to quickly read labels, and learn how to set yourself up for success during the week. So adding all these things, we have one more thing that we're going to add to this, and that's our new injury prevention and recovery option. So for anybody that's like, well, I've had injuries or whatever it is, I'm not sure how to kind of go about all that stuff, we got you covered here. I know firsthand from experience, I've had 3 knee surgeries on my left knee. When I first got into health and fitness, part of that story when I met Doug was I was already coming off a knee surgery. So I actually developed a big passion and needed to have an understanding when it came to fitness on how to do it in a corrective exercise format. So we want to be launching that with you guys as well. So you can perform the workouts no matter your situation, allow you to push yourself, allows you to improve your body and limit those aches and pains without holding you back, reduce inflammation, and allows you to go at your own pace and improve your posture, all done in just a couple minutes, a couple times a week. Meet Jan. Love Jan. Many of you may know Jan. Jan, I love to use this as an example, and I told this story the other day. Jan, we kind of did some of this process when she first started coming in. And I mean, Jan would do the workouts just kind of sitting in a chair, right? It's easily scalable no matter what your situation is. And now she's rocking it, doing pull-ups and all of that stuff. So that is what normally the challenge, the 6-week Spring Shed challenge with all that included. If you did all that, and I kind of have 3 questions for you here. If all I did was get you over that blah feeling, lose the next 15 pounds in a more enjoyable way, would it be worth it? Right? If you were able to finally kind of get over that hump. And if you were able to save time, save money, and save stress during your week, would it be worth it? And lastly, if you could have more energy and more confidence to be more productive in your life, would that be worth it? I know it would be for me. So I had 2 choices when doing this. I can make it like dirt cheap, so anybody under the sun could do it. However, that would limit our ability to keep it personal, which is our ultimate goal for all this. I've already mentioned a bunch of times. Or I could require a little higher investment, but in exchange, I could provide a lot more resources, a lot more tools in order to help you succeed. And I chose the latter because that is what we do here. We want to provide a solution for you and not just a cheap alternative that anybody can do, right? So what's losing that last little bit of weight or getting over that hump or getting the ball rolling with your weight loss be worth to you? That easier time-saving weight loss plan that's customizable. So we're $200 a month, $500 a month. Is it worth more than that to you? How much would you pay to have that custom weight loss solution that you could do long-term? I know me, when I was going through all this, like I would do whatever it took to get that, especially all the struggles that I went through. That was very important for me. Well, the program has cost me a lot of money, right? Especially doing this as the business aspect of thing. Staffing costs, testing and tweaking, like getting software, hiring other professionals to help with different things, purchasing tools, resources, certifications, the technical side of thing, freelancers, creating stuff, designing stuff, not only and not even incorporating my time, but it was all worth it, right? As it helped us to help thousands of people live a healthier and happier, and to be able to do things like this. And this is why you can see people will pay thousands to attain that last little bit of weight for good. And how good would that feel to be able to say that? How good would it feel to feel what Julie mentioned earlier that she's feeling now, right? It's easy. She doesn't have to think about it. It's just, it's natural now, and she's able to do it long term, right? So you can see why people would pay a lot of money for that. For the general public, we're actually making it for $597, but because you spent time with me today, all of that, we're actually doing it for $397. And if you remember, it's only $137, and you can actually get money back from that. And even the $397, you can get money back from that. So all of that stuff is included. I have the kind of the link here ready for, anybody that does want to partake in this. If you are a member, I'm not going to have you use that link because you are getting a special link. For you, it is the, you just message us in My Coach that you do want to do this program and get the custom program there for you. Okay. So that's how you would do to get started. You get the 6 weeks of the 4-pillar program, all the other added different things there. An additional $297, you're going to get it free with all of that today. You have two choices, guys. You can do nothing. We just wasted last 2 hours talking about why this is important. If this is the goals that you have, which I assume it is, that's why you join me tonight. And you're still in the boat 6 weeks from now, or 6 months from now, or 6 years from now, or 7 years, or whatever it is, right? Or you can see if it works for you, right? And if we can't help you lose that weight, then we don't deserve your money, right? We want to give you a chance to put the pressure back on us, and we will gladly give you all of your money back. If you signed up today, and if you don't like it for whatever reason, again, I put it on here. I don't care if it's 29 days, 23 hours, 59 minutes, just let us know. I'll write you a check personally, give you your results back, or give you your money back and all that. Like, again, we want the pressure to be on us, not on you, right? So the real question, is it worth doing for the next 6 weeks to get a new outlook on changing your life for the better? And isn't that worth everything, right? So again, we talked about everything that you would get here, not for $1,800. This is only for the first 15 people. Again, we have to keep it personable, or it's not going to work the way we want it to, right? We can't customize things for 1,000 people, right? We need to keep it personal. So during this, you're going to get the coaching sessions. You're going to get the custom nutrition plans and guides. You're going to get 7 days a week access to our coaches and constant support and first priority. Weekly compliance and communication with your coach. Weekly check-ins with the coach that can take as little as 2 or 3 minutes. Access to all of our cheat sheets I mentioned earlier to make it easier. Less stress and time trying to figure out how to do it on your own. Now, you're not going to get like 7 sessions that like it would cost you to get a personal trainer for that cost. I'm yelling at the screen there. You're going to get more, you're going to get 24. You're not going to get one nutrition guy. You're going to get up to 10. You're not going to get, just random like accountability whenever it happens. You're going to get daily and weekly accountability. You get priority support. Our team has your back. We want to make sure you get the results. To me, that is priceless for getting what my body and my mind have been waiting for, right? Searching for. When I met Doug, like I was at that pivotal point that I needed something to help make a change, right? And as I mentioned, we do offer bi-weekly payments for this. Again, if you're a member, you get a much different price point there. We can talk to you about how that works, but we do have bi-weekly payment plans available for that. Just message us, or if you are not a member and you do need the bi-weekly payment plans, email us here at info@madeatrawfitness.com. Do it by tomorrow before we shut down this program in order to get access to it and to get the payment plan option. Again, what you are going to get here today is for only $397, not the $597 and not the $1897 or $1833, is all of the stuff in there. The 6-week spring shred challenge, all included the weekly coaching, all the sessions, the custom plans, all the cheat sheets and guides, the discounts, everything included in that, the live meal prepping 101, the live budget hacking grocery store tour, and access to the injury prevention recovery plan. And if you're a member, you're also going to be able to get access at the same price point weekly for the additional 6 weeks. Instead of that $2,400, you'd be getting it for a fraction of that. So I know some people message me about certain questions that they have. Any question, and it doesn't even have to be about the program. If you have questions about the program, feel free. I'll happily answer that for you as well. But any other questions that I can help you, whether it's weight loss, whether it's about the 4 pillars, whether it's clarifications on something, type it in the chat here, or you can unmute yourself if you want to talk. I will stay on as long as need be in order to kind of answer any questions that you guys have. So if you guys have any, let me know. I'm going to put that link in there for non-members here that you can use. Renette, no, you do not have to live in a specific state. Actually, we have somebody in this one in Florida and California, I believe. So, and we have somebody on the west, 2 people on the west side of the state as well. It is a little bit different of a process just because you're obviously not in person. But yeah, you can definitely do it personally. I would email the info@madeatrawfitness.com. And we can definitely help you set up how to get started regardless of where you live. We have full access and have done it many a times for anybody that's, outside of just the Metro Detroit area there. So, yeah, so good question. Does anybody else have any questions, whether it is anything to do with the program or just simply any questions on like what we talked about today, clarification on anything, anything that I can specifically help answer or clarify or do for you within this? And, I'll stay on for a few more minutes. And if nobody's got anything, you can always message me directly or use the email, if you want it more personal or anything there.
Hey, Danny.
Thanks for joining me today, guys. Hopefully you learned something.
Hey, Danny.
Were you going to say something?
Yeah, you said it was 197 for members.
Maybe not. Showing off you. Ballinger, you raised your hand a while ago. Did you have a question or were you just raising your hand when I said, hey, raise your hand if you feel this or whatever? I'm assuming it's that. Hopefully you didn't have your raised hand that long and I didn't call on you.
Annie,
Can you hear
Michelle
me
had
now?
a question. Did you hear?
Michelle, I can't hear you. Were you talking to me? Talking to
Yeah,
us?
can you hear me now? I'm off mute.
I still can't hear you. Julie,
I can
are you on? Can
hear.
you hear?
I can hear. It's
Hold on,
Michelle, it was
maybe.
137, he said.
Oh,
Okay, thank
sorry.
you.
I can hear you now. Sorry, guys. My speaker wasn't working. Go ahead. So you asked about like the members program?
Yeah, if you're already a member, I couldn't remember the price you gave.
Yeah, 137. We can also do payment plans for that, and you get $50 back if you just do all the tasks or whatever within it. It's just
Okay,
kind of that extra
thanks.
accountability. All right, cool. Ballinger, thank you. I just want to make sure. That's what I thought, but I didn't want to leave that hand hanging if it wasn't there. So cool. Yeah, guys. So this is it. This is how you sustain results is finding what works for you. Just like Julie mentioned for her, just like I mentioned for me, like finding a custom solution within the 4 pillars of fitness, nutrition, healthy habits, and having accountability is how you get results. And then throwing in the assessments and boosters, you will get results. I mean, that is key. All right, guys. So if I don't have any other questions, I'll probably head off here. This is going to be recorded. So if you wanted to go back later, I will send it to people that registered. You'll be able to go back, reference it, anything there. This program, by the way, I don't even know if I mentioned it. It does start Monday. So this program does officially start Monday. We have our kickoff this weekend. You can join the kickoff. If you can't make the kickoff, just let us know. We can, walk you through what you need to do or know, get you any resources that you need to do, and talk with your coach. But yeah, we can definitely, the goal is we're going to start it on Monday. But again, we can only, bring in so many people, or else it'll get too convoluted. So we're going to make sure we keep it personalized for you. You're very welcome, guys. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for listening to me ramble for 2 hours. I'm standing too, by the way, guys. I'm getting my workout in right now. I did work out with Amelia earlier. I did the 9 a.m. workout. It was a good one. Thank you, Justin. Anyone else do the workout today?
I did.
It was good. I like
Yeah, it
the
was good.
squats.
Yep. Thanks, Danny.
You're welcome. All right, guys. If nobody has any other questions, I'll head out. Thank you for joining me. Appreciate it. Again, if you have any questions, anything like that, reach out. Be happy to kind of answer or clarify for you guys.